So I just wanted to share a little information about this vertical touchscreen. We had an event here about a week and a half ago. We had 4 bankers in. We're just talking about some trends in the industry, things like that. But one of the things that we did when they first arrived here is we had them check in. So again, in this case, I'm going to click on Julie. And so we welcomed her. We had her name and her first name and last name. And we just asked her to enter her email address. So she came up, typed in her email, hit connected, and what that allowed us to do was automatically push that email into our automated email program. So now every week she'll get updates on either new projects that we're doing, upcoming seminars, tips and tricks, things like that. So again, in the real world example is somebody maybe downloads your mortgage brochure, we capture that email and push it into your program so it can go out as often as you would like. The other thing that we did at the end of this session is we used our scratch off to give away some prizes. So in this particular case, we had these kind of balloons all set up, and we had kind of the funny little gifts underneath. So we had peanuts here, and we had a Cliff Bar, but under this one here, we had a brand new Sonos speaker that a gentleman from Envision Bank had won. So again, the scratch off allows lots of opportunities to engage consumers, collect data too if we want to, but again, kind of surprise and delight. So again, on this vertical, just a couple quick ways to use interactive displays. This next little touch display, this is a 22-inch ELO, and we have it on a small kiosk stand. But this was a program we designed actually for one of our clients, which was a COVID check-in system. So again, it's one thing to have people come in and check off or sign in a piece of paper, but there's no real capture of that data. So in this particular case, in our case here at Element, when people come in, they can either add their email address or their employee number. They hit submit, and 5 questions come up, and these are kind of standard national questions. Have you come in close contact with anybody with COVID? Have you experienced any change in temperature, fever, things like that? So as the employee checks them off, they get to the bottom here, and it basically says that I authorize that I answered those questions properly and correctly, and I submit, and wonderful, thank you very much. And what happens then is all that data is collected on the back end. So in our case, we can look at every day here at the office to see who's checked in, and if somebody answered yes to any of those questions, it'll flag us and let us know that somebody may not be feeling well. So it's a great way to capture that data, keep it for the history of however long you'd like to have it, and just make sure that people are following the guidelines. Thank you. So one of the questions we often get asked is how do we kind of attract the millennials? How do we get the younger demographic into our branch? And certainly social media can play a big part of that. But we were trying to think, well, how do we use social media, specifically maybe something like Instagram, to help drive people in? So we kind of came up with this idea combining our digital screens, touch screens, with promotional products. So the idea is you might put out an Instagram post, and with specific code that says, listen, if you come into our branch today only, use this code and enter to win a free gift or get a free gift. So for example, they come in, they've got their code on their phone, they can come in and enter it here, hit check my code. Hey, you're one of our winners. Drop and drag any one of these circles into the kind of the Instagram logo down here and see what you win. So again, it can be done with small things, larger things, account openings, but again, a fun way to drive people into the branch via social media. And again, you can also kind of get a good idea of what's working and what types of promotions drive people in or get their attention. So anyway, just a quick way to use touch and social media together. And the last thing I wanted to show you here this afternoon regarding our touch was just, again, how to get brochures and videos and things like that into people's hands. So in our video or our brochure download page, in this case, we're showing a collection of brochures. And if somebody wants to learn a little bit more about Element, they have the ability here to click through, look at our different brochures, activate them. And then if they would like to get it, certainly they can just come over here, give us their name, company if they'd like, and their email address. And off that goes. And another 30 seconds or so I'll have that email. And the beautiful thing is that the bank or credit union now knows who sent themselves a brochure. And again, that can go right into your automatic drip campaign if you so choose. And the last item I wanted to show was the video library, but I wanted to show you using this QR code, because obviously with COVID coming, some people are hesitant to touch displays. So we also built the experience so that if they want to use their phone, they can come up, they can engage the different pieces here right with their own device. So again, I can move around and select the different categories here if I choose to. This talks about our team and the members coming in, and rotate it just as if I was touching the screen. So we have the ability to, anything we do on a traditional touchscreen, we can also build through a mobile app and allow any of your consumers to access it through their own phones. So that's it. Thanks again.